Hello, I'm Abby Duke, and this is my video presentation of the evaluation of my teaching lesson. So the first question is, how would you rate the overall process and outcome of the session? So I would say I would give myself maybe a 4 out of 5 because the process was a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of planning and consideration when coming up with a lesson plan. And I think overall it turned out really well, except there was a few kinks in there and a few things that maybe I hadn't thought of completely, the questions that people ask or otherwise. But altogether, I feel like it was a successful lesson, and I think that just the enthusiasm of my students really helped. It really helped that everyone at least knew another person in the room, and so it kind of helped helped everyone feel comfortable and have fun with the lesson. So the strongest and weakest areas of my instruction, I would say the strongest was probably my lecture with the video. I feel like I have enough experience of doing presentations that I can do that part really well with relatable examples included in there. And I also think that the video brought something extra to my lesson plan. So I feel like those were really strong points. The weakest areas, I would say, is probably my idea for acting out the demonstration. I got it from a online source, so it was a credible source, and I thought this is, has been used before, this will be great. Instead of just reading it, they can act it out. And now looking back, I feel like maybe we could have just read the scenario and gotten just as much out of it, and maybe the demonstration wasn't completely necessary. So that was just my own thoughts, and I really need to practice delivering the instructions as well, because I knew what I wanted to say, but as soon as it came out of my mouth and I had people in front of me, like, okay, what do we do now? I wasn't that great at delivering the instruction. And then it says, what kinds of comments did you get in your evaluation? Share some and reflect on them. So I benefited the most from the first and third question. The first one was, did the material provided in class contribute to your learning of the subject? And the third question was, please name at least one thing the instructor could do to improve the class. So this person said the material was well paired with the activities. So the lecture was paired well with the activities, so that's good. That means, they weren't getting, just something completely different that didn't have anything to do with what they had just been taught. And then it said, I needed a bit more time to prepare for the scenario, but it was still fun. So right there, they said, oh, I needed more time. And that's something I didn't really take into consideration. I was thinking, oh, they're just going to take 5 minutes to prepare this. But, they actually had to come up with kind of lines and kind of dialogue. So it was kind of like, okay, what are you going to say? And then I'll say this. And, that actually took a little bit extra time for them to prepare, and I was thinking, oh, it'll take 2 to 5 minutes, boom, they'll be done and ready to go. And so I need to plan a little bit better for things like that. And this other person said more prepared instruction for the scene, but still a cool lesson. So again, they enjoyed the presentation and thought it was fun, and it added a lot to the discussion, but obviously we were making the same observations, like about the instruction, and I needed to be more clear, like, okay, you're going to do this, you want to say this, instead of just being like, okay, you're going to act out this scenario. Just more guidance. Maybe they felt like they weren't getting enough information or enough guidance during the instruction part. But for the most part, everyone was very constructive and gave me good feedback, and the discussion was really lively and funny, and people were laughing and making, jokes, and, bringing lots of their own experiences to the table, and it was a really cool experience. And then what changes and improvements would I make? So I would just kind of do a run through, maybe do it even with one other person, say, hey, this is my idea for this is what I plan to do, and then go from there and kind of plan it out more, outline it more, practice my instructions, just so it's a lot more clear and no one's kind of just winging it or feeling like they're winging it. And then, were you able to accomplish your goals? I say yes. I was definitely able to achieve my goals. I wanted them to have fun. I wanted them to understand social exchange theory really easily, and they seem to do that. And you especially get that idea from their interactions and just their conversations that they were having. And so that is pretty much it. I feel like I accomplished everything that I needed to, and thank you very much.